In a world where dreams come alive, there are two best friends named Lily and Max. Every night before bed, their rooms would begin to float away from the sleepy town, taking them on mysterious adventures across the galaxy. But tonight was different. Something unexpected awaited them in their own bedroom. It was a peaceful night. Lily tucked her glowing night flower under her pillow. Max buttoned up his magical pajamas. Suddenly, their beds began to lift off the ground, floating through the moonlight once more, taking them on another adventure in the dream garden. As they floated through the garden, a new door had appeared. It was made of twisting vines and intricately carved puzzle pieces. Puzzled by what lay behind it, Lily reached out and touched the door. It swung open with a soft click, revealing a beautiful yet slightly eerie forest. "Where are we?" Max whispered, his eyes wide with wonder. "Welcome to the puzzle forest," a gentle voice said. Startled, they turned to see a small squirrel wearing tiny glasses perched on a nearby branch. "Hello, I'm Professor Nutty. Our forest heart is missing, and without it, everything feels confused." He explained that the forest heart was a glowing crystal that kept their forest in balance. But it had been stolen by the Shadow Weaver, who had hidden it somewhere in the forest. The only way to retrieve it was to solve 3 riddles or puzzles that led to its hiding place. Taking a deep breath, Lily and Max knew they were up for the task. "We'll help you find your forest heart," Lily promised. The professor led them to the base of a large oak tree. "The first puzzle is hidden somewhere on this tree. Can you solve it?" he asked. Looking around, Max noticed strange markings on the tree trunk. I think I know the answer," he said. After a moment of silence, he spoke up. "I have no feet, but I run." "What am I?" he asked Lily and the professor. After a moment, Lily answered, "You are a river." Max nodded. "That's right. A river has no feet, but it keeps flowing." As soon as Lily said the answer, the tree trunk split open, revealing a path leading deeper into the forest. "That's one puzzle solved," the professor said with a smile. "Now let's move on to the next one." They walked along a winding path until they reached an open area. In the middle of the clearing, a faint glow could be seen floating above the ground. As they got closer, the glow grew brighter, revealing a small crystal ball suspended in mid-air. Suddenly, the crystal ball began to spin, and a voice echoed through the clearing. "What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? What is it?" the voice challenged. Lily and Max looked at each other. This puzzle was much harder. Then Lily remembered something she had learned in school. She whispered the letter M. The crystal ball stopped spinning, and as if confirming her answer, the path beneath their feet shimmered with 1,000 myths. With a gentle hum, they glided through the magical doorway that had formed from the letters. "Well done," the professor said, beaming at them. "Only one puzzle remains, and for that, we must enter the music maze." As they approached the entrance to the maze, the sound of beautiful music filled the air. At the center of the maze, a small wooden box stood open, inviting them inside. However, the music wasn't just a pleasant melody. It was a carefully composed puzzle with notes that needed to be stepped on in a particular order. Lily and Max hesitantly entered the maze. The music seemed to guide them as they took their first steps. At first, the path seemed random, but then Lily noticed a pattern. Each note they stepped on was followed by another, forming a musical scale. They continued on, their steps echoing the notes of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. As they reached the end of the maze, they stepped on the last note, and the box in front of them clicked open, revealing a beautiful glowing crystal. It was a forest heart. Overjoyed, they ran to the waiting professor, who was so grateful for their help. "You've brought balance back to our forest," he said, "and as a token of my appreciation, I'd like to give you each a special gift." He handed Lily a necklace with a leaf pendant that glowed softly and gave Max a compass that always pointed towards adventure. The friends were overjoyed with their gifts, but they knew it was time to return home. Saying their goodbyes, they slipped through the now familiar vine door and found themselves back in their own room. The adventure had been thrilling, but the mystery didn't end there. Back in their world, Lily and Max couldn't shake the feeling that their adventure in the puzzle forest had left something unresolved. Despite solving all the puzzles and returning the forest heart, there was still a lingering sense of unease. Unable to ignore their instincts, they decided to return to the dream garden for answers. Floating through the night sky, they made their way back to the puzzle forest, hoping to find Professor Nutty. But when they arrived, they noticed that the forest was even more enchanting than before. The trees were in full bloom, and the animals seemed happier than ever. Yet the professor was nowhere to be found. Suddenly, a family of rabbits hopped into view, and Lily and Max knew these were no ordinary bunnies. Their eyes sparkled with intelligence, and they wore tiny leather jackets with miniature tool belts. One of the rabbits, who introduced himself as Chester, explained that he and his family were actually highly skilled mechanics who had disguised themselves as rabbits to escape the clutches of the Shadow Weaver. It turned out that the Shadow Weaver, in addition to stealing the forest heart, had also captured several other animals, trapping them in mechanical devices that mimicked their natural forms. The real animals were too afraid to move, believing they were simply toys. But Chester and his family weren't fooled. They knew they had to get the animals back to their original forms and free them from the Shadow Weaver's control. But how could they possibly do that? Just then, Lily noticed something peculiar about the rabbit hole that led to the underground lair. It was emitting a faint humming noise, almost like the entrance to a secret passage. With a combination of Lily's quick thinking and Max's bravery, they managed to pry loose one of the gears from the rabbit hole. And as it turned out, the gear fit perfectly into a lock on the wall, opening up a secret passage. Inside, they discovered a vast network of tunnels filled with all sorts of fantastical creatures. Some were trapped in cages, while others were frozen in blocks of ice. But the most surprising sight was the Shadow Weaver himself, who was tending to a large machine in the center of the room. The machine whirred and clicked, and it was clear that it had something to do with the captured animals. As Lily and Max crept closer, they overheard the Shadow Weaver talking to himself. "With the forest heart's power, I'll be able to control the very essence of dreams. Then I'll rule over the dream garden and bend the universe to my will." The Shadow Weaver was planning to use a forest heart to take over the entire dream garden. This revelation filled Lily and Max with determination. They had to stop him. Using their wits, they managed to distract the Shadow Weaver, giving them enough time to free the trapped animals. As the creatures regained their senses, They joined forces with Lily and Max to take down the Shadow Weaver. In the end, the Shadow Weaver's plans were foiled, and the captured animals were returned to their homes. Was the dream garden safe once again? Lily and Max knew it was time to go. They had solved the remaining puzzles and saved the day. Back in their world, they looked at each other, realizing that their friendship had grown even stronger through their shared adventures. They knew that no matter what mysteries or magical realms lay ahead, they could face them together. And so, with a renewed sense of courage and camaraderie, they bid farewell to the dream garden, eager to see where their next adventure might take them. For now, though, it was time to close their eyes and drift off to sleep, knowing that tomorrow would bring new discoveries and perhaps even more exciting mysteries to solve. As they slept, the dream garden hummed with life, and the animals they had rescued nestled peacefully in their homes, forever grateful to their young heroes.